10, 9, ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. Liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour. Liftoff on Apollo 11. Roger Tower.
Welcome to the Alien Probe Podcast. It is Thursday, July 16th, 2026. I'm Doug. This is Stephanie joining us today after a scheduling mishap. So welcome. Glad we got this all figured out.
I'm glad to be here. Thanks.
You know, you're an exorcist, ordained Catholic minister?
Yeah, Catholic priest. Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. Now, do you have a church? I mean, do you go to church every Sunday?
I do go to church every Sunday. I have my own church, the Immaculate Conception. There's not that many people in it. We're more of an online right now.
Right.
Yeah, there's about 400 or 500 of us.
Wow.
So
that's a flock.
Yeah, definitely. So there's a few bishops. There's only 2 of us in the United States at this point. So the rest are from the UK.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my bishop's out in the UK.
Oh, it's interesting. I'm trying to get my camera.
Bobby Crossan, but awesome guy.
That is great. So tell us a little bit about the history. How did this come about? I read your bio. That was pretty wild. Tell us how this all started.
I had a boyfriend way back in college, and I don't want to give my age out, but it was a while ago. So, unfortunately, he got in a motorcycle accident and died. I was supposed to be on the back, in fact, and something said, "Don't get on there." And I remember telling him distinctly, "Wear your helmet," which I found out later he didn't. A semi, unfortunately, ran into him on the bike.
Wow.
Yeah, and so he died. For 3 nights after that, I woke up to a white opaque figure, and I would wake up and try and turn on the light. I was freaking out. I didn't know what was going on, and it would kind of prevent me from getting up. And so my roommate even woke up and saw it. And this happened for 3 nights until the day of the funeral, and then that was it. It happened no more. So I kind of tabled that. I mean, I always had that passion in me to find out what it was and what was going on. Stayed home, raised 3 boys, but as soon as the youngest one was gone, that was it. I kind of went out, reinvented myself, started doing the paranormal investigating first, and then I started my own team 3 years later, and it was just kind of a progression of things. I felt the calling to be an exorcist about 5 years ago. And
have you seen a lot of ghosts?
I've seen, I would say, a couple of them. I haven't seen a lot, to be honest.
Yeah, you're like me. You're like me with extraterrestrials. I believe, but I haven't seen one. But I know that they're there.
Exactly. You know what convinced me was the EVPs, electronic voice phenomena. I will speak to them on the tape recorder, and they will answer me back. So we get like a little conversation going back and forth.
Oh, wow. What do you talk about?
A lot of times I used to have a lot of spirit haunts where they would be just generally disruptive in a household. And you kind of have to be kind of a therapist with them and say, hey, you know what, if you want to stay, get along. If you don't, I got to kick you out. I've even had one go, God, she's mean, when I was in a bad mood.
Yeah, wow.
So, I mean, wow. But, I just kind of convinced them, hey, you know what, get along and cohabitate peacefully with them, and you can go ahead and stay. 10 times, out of 10, they would agree, and there'd be no more problems.
Do you believe in the Ouija board thing?
I believe in it. I would never advocate anybody for. I'd say about 50% of my cases are from the Ouija board.
Really?
Yeah,
I've done it before, but I always felt like the other person was guiding it around.
Yeah. Don't be so. You let things in, and they're lower level entities, right? Lower level are evil, and just because the board says you close the door, whatever it is, it's not going to go back through.
Right.
It's there to stay, and more often than not, it's not something you want to be messing with.
In the in the UAP UFO world, they've got a thing called CE5. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it's like you get a group of people, 6 or 7 or more, and it's usually at night. It's usually outside, and they focus on befriending or believing something's going to appear. I haven't done it myself. It kind of feels, and as I go through and talk about it with people that have done it,
right.
It feels like that they're bringing out something that we don't really want out. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's in the alien world. I believe I've had instances. I believe that were alien. There are demonic aliens. There are good aliens. There's just like we have. There's good and bad. There's got to be bad to balance out the good. And the same in the alien world. So I believe that I've had a few cases with aliens.
Really? Have you talked to them? Have you talked to the aliens?
They don't really talk. They'll communicate through the instruments.
Right.
Do like REM pods and things like that.
Oh, so interesting.
I haven't really gotten any quote unquote EVPs from them.
Yeah, I don't know. The phenomena is just. I think it's related almost. Sometimes with the spirit world and aliens. I think interdimensional, is a thing.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, I firmly believe that.
So that's why your topic and or what we talk about everything. But I mean, generally, I don't have a lot. I have a lot of paranormal friends, on Instagram and all that. There's a lot more paranormal groups and people than there is UFO. Extraterrestrial people. There's a lot of people that are doing paranormal. I was surprised to see how many people.
Anthony Sanchez.
What's that?
Do you know Anthony Sanchez?
Yes, I do know Anthony. I met him.
Okay, he's a good friend of mine.
Oh yeah, he went to our MUFON meeting up here, and I know he's got some books, and he's visited the Archuleta Mesa, which is one of my pet. Topics that I like to always read about, and Anthony Sanchez, he's a good guy.
Yeah, he's a real good guy.
I keep trying to get him on the show. He's getting too big.
Yeah. I'll put in a word for you.
Tell him, put in the good. Just say, hey, it's the guy, the Alien Pro Podcast guy from MUFON.
I will definitely.
That's funny. Yeah, he's okay. It's but so. You're going through this journey. Tell me, you do exorcisms too? I mean, I have to ask this because I was just joking around with my wife's sister earlier and saying that I wonder if it's like The Exorcist, where the head's spinning around and vomits flying out.
Oh, totally Hollywood.
Are they actually possessed by a demon?
They are actually possessed. And it's really weird. You got to bring the demon out in order to exorcise it, right? And I've been working with, I also work with the Benedictine priest for 7 years. That's where I learned a lot of it. But I've had 5 clients come back from that after the demon was exorcised and tell me that they were in hell while the demon was in control. Demons were watching them, and that hell was cold. every single one of them. And they didn't know each other from Adam. They were in different parts of the city, different cities, different, everything, different backgrounds. But yet they came up with the same thing.
They were in hell.
Thing.
Wait, hell was cold, did you say?
Hell was cold, even though there are flames. Yes, hell was cold.
Well, I don't want to go there for sure now. I hate it cold. You know, it's like...
Don't say that.
Well, there's always the thing on whether there's a heaven, whether there's a hell. Did you watch... it was the movie that just came out about the... you letting all the, you know, the new movie I'm talking about, the Spielberg movie.
Yeah.
So, you haven't seen it yet. So I haven't seen it. You should. And I tell people that are religious that don't believe in, again, like my wife's sister.
Yeah.
I say, you know, you might want to go. It has a religious undertone on it. What they do, I won't tell you the whole plot, but it has it has where they let the information out. They disclosure day, so they let the information out. They disclose it, and that there was a nun, high-ranking nun or something in there, and that she accepted the fact that there was extraterrestrials. And, you know, and how do you feel about that? I mean, if this got disclosed that this thing is real, you've talked to them, so you know, you're thinking it's real. But how do you feel the religion, as being in the religion, more than less in the religious community? How is it going to be viewed by your flock, do you think?
I believe, now the church I go to, I believe is very open, would be open to that. A lot of them, your Protestant churches, your Catholic church, no way. They would turn their back on it. They would firmly deny it without a doubt, I think.
Will they just turn their back, or will there be some sort of...
There's always those, you know, that'll have an open mind. But a lot of them will say it goes against the, you know, biblical teachings.
I mean, will they freak out and do weird things? You think?
A lot of them. Well, there'll be cults. There's always your cult.
Well, that's why. That's one of the reasons that is always said, because we don't know anything, for real anymore.
Yeah.
And never have actually. That the government thinks it is. You know, remember War of the Worlds? First of all, the real story, which didn't really happen, but the radio show, and then everybody started freaking out. They're thinking that the religious community is going to do something similar if it's disclosed that, you know, we are indeed having visitations from I say extraterrestrials. I don't personally believe that they're right now from outer space. I think they originally came from outer space, but they're here now. Just so
I believe they're walking amongst us.
I always try to tell the guests how I feel, because that's important, right?
Yeah. I think it is.
You know, I know it's not important, but anyway. No. That's. I think they're from here. They were originally from elsewhere. I don't know where that is, but now they're here. They're not really trapped. This is where they want to be, probably, or if they even know that they want to be, if they have a free will, and who knows if they do.
Right, I believe they're there. I believe they're up there somewhere in a different, you know, what do they call it, time warp or
different dimension. You know, time.
Yeah, exactly.
And they say time is the same. It's always, this has been brought up the last couple of months, where time is the same no matter what dimension you're in. It's like if it's 6 o'clock here, it's always the same no matter where you are, what dimension, and. Which this daylight savings thing will be nice. It'll always be one time. I think they're finally going to pass that, where there's only one time. You know,
that would be nice. I would get confused all the time.
Yeah, because you're on mountain, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, and I just moved from Florida, so I was on Eastern time.
Florida's where people usually go. What are you doing moving from Florida?
God, my husband was born and raised here. He loves the mountains.
Oh,
I'm a
really?
beach gal, total beach
You look like
goddess.
you had a nice tan.
Yeah, oh, I love the sun. I love the beach. So we're here now, but you know what? January 2nd, once the holidays, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I'm a snowbird,
Did
without a doubt.
you go to Florida?
Florida, I was thinking Costa Rica. They're cheap.
I've heard of Costa Rica, but what part of Florida did you live in?
I lived in Melbourne, like an hour outside of Orlando. So,
Which way? Is it toward the coast or is it?
oh, honey, I call myself directionally dyslexic.
Oh, okay. My
I
sister
have no
lives. Yeah,
idea.
my sister lives in Florida, so I was asked where she lives
Oh, okay. What part?
by the Kennedy Space Center down there. Yeah,
Real close to us.
yeah. So it's
It's
like
Cocoa.
Cocoa Beach area, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that was like maybe, oh gosh, half hour, 45 minutes,
Yeah,
depending who was driving.
I love Florida. I would love to move to Florida, but the more I know about Florida, the less I want to move there. I mean, it's the insurance,
Yeah.
your home insurance rates are out just uncontrollably high.
Crazy.
You
The
know,
way
and
people
for
drive is crazy.
rightfully so, because you can't have a business like an insurance company and keep rebuilding people's houses.
Yeah.
Whole
Yeah,
whole
exactly.
sections of the state are wiped out, and it's they got to pay, and people want. How come my rates go up? Because you live in an area that gets destroyed on a pretty
I
regular
know.
basis. Did
Cocoa
you?
Beach was wiped out a year ago. They had to refurbish that, put sand in. They had it all barricaded off. So yeah, I get that. I get why it's so high.
Well,
We're about 10 minutes away.
I have dogs, and I like throwing sticks in ponds and things. And
Yeah, yeah.
you don't really do that in Florida, with your dog, because there could be alligator in there. you
Right,
know,
and they don't allow a lot of dogs on the beaches. Believe
really.
it or not. Yeah,
Not even
yeah.
if
There's
he's on a
gonna be one
leash, you just aren't allowed. Huh? I understand why they can
allowed.
be. People are rude and they leave their mess. I get it.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody
Exactly.
wants to be walking to the beach and have that. So that's another strike against Florida that I'm not going to like. I'm not going to be able to take my dog.
Right.
Can't take my dogs to the beach.
And
You
the
know.
drivers are horrible. Absolutely. Road rage
Oh,
is incredible.
that's California too. It's
Is it
unbelievable.
really?
You were talking
Okay.
about motorcycles. I was just I rode a bike for the best part of my life. I was a metric.
Yeah.
I was a metric guy. I rode Hondas, and I used to street race back in the Bay Area when it wasn't criminally crazy. Like they don't
Right.
lock you up. I literally got a ticket that said speed contest on it. You
Oh my
know.
gosh.
And
Yeah.
it's like my
Yeah.
dad said, I've never even seen one of those before. Yeah, I was racing a guy. I was pulled over. I had so many speeding
Right.
tickets, but I used to race people for money. But but now I'm thinking about getting a Harley. But
Listen,
I was thinking about getting a trike because I'm getting old. You know,
That is what I would like.
the new trikes are, well, not the new, all the trikes are pretty cool.
Right.
But
right.
the Road Glide 3s, those are really nice. And they've
Yeah,
got,
yeah.
they came out in 23, I think, or something like that. And they've gotten, the upgrade that came in 26 was, the suspension's really nice. And I haven't ridden one yet. So I've been talking to the dealer, and they're going to get me down
Right.
to do a test drive. And then my wife I have to make sure that, the back of the seat's up. She's really short. So
Okay, gotcha.
She
How
doesn't
much
like.
do they run?
What's that?
How much do they run about?
Oh man, they're like for new. They're like over 40 grand. But
Hey, you pay that for a car.
but the thing is, they're the technology, and they have their screen. They have navigation. The screen's really big, like the new
Right.
the Road Glide
that
bike.
sounds nice.
My son has a Road Glide, the bike.
Yeah.
And he says
yeah.
he says the electronics and the communication and all that's real, and that's what I like, being able to talk on the
That's
phone
nice.
or text by voice or whatever if I
Yeah,
while I'm riding
exactly.
along. But it's dangerous. You talked about the crash, and then
Yeah.
I managed to survive years and years of riding. And I've got a friend who's ex-FBI. And
Yeah.
we used to ride together and race around together. And he goes, I will never, he's my age. He goes, I'll never own another bike, especially in California. He goes, You know,
People don't.
how people
Yeah.
don't stop at stop signs here. It's unbelievable.
No,
I've never
I
seen anything
know.
like it.
I know. I've seen cars from California here. They just roll right through it.
It's like, it's
Yeah.
not optional, and
Yeah, exactly.
I live in a street that's got couple of small intersections by it, and every once in a while you just hear a big crash because people don't stop. And it's like
Oh,
you just
God.
couldn't stop at that stop sign, huh? And you had to
So it
cause this
saves
wreck.
what, 2 seconds and that's it.
I'm at an age now where I'm never in a hurry, so it's kind of
Yeah.
like I don't care.
No, no, I wish I could say that. I'm a speed demon in the car. I shouldn't say that. I try.
What kind of
But
car?
my husband bought me a Mustang, 5.0 GT Mustang.
Oh,
What does
nice.
he expect? They're nice. They are not. And I just like to go and just get on the highway and go.
Does it have a 5-speed?
Yes. No.
Are you
No.
automatic?
Automatic. I have to learn how to do the 5 speed.
I'm too lazy. Well, now it's paddle shifting in the new cars. It's not even really,
Right.
It's kind of like it takes kind of all the fun out of it, I think. I mean, but you put a kid in a car now, that if you ever never want your car stolen, just buy a stick because nobody knows how to drive them.
True. That is very true, including me.
So out of the car corner, anyway. So it's an interesting that you've had these exorcisms and things.
Yeah.
So people get. How does the demon get in how does it get in?
Sometimes they invite him through like things like for instance, one case I had, they had a bad relationship with their stepdaughter and
Oh.
their boyfriend and her boyfriend. So when they asked him to leave, he did a
Spell?
inverted pentagram, right?
Yeah.
And then he peed all around it, and it was just gross. Anyways, but they brought something bad in, right? And then they had a stepson come in and didn't believe it, so he challenged whatever it was. He said, "Come on out,"
Oh,
and
no.
then yeah, right. So I went in there with the priest. And between the two of us, we got it out, right? And they're supposed to do, I'm sorry, but you do have to develop a relationship, in my opinion, with Jesus. And in order to keep it out. And he was an alcoholic, quit the drinking, quit the drugs, which is what he was doing. They didn't do that. So when you don't do that, it comes back tenfold, which is what happened. And so then you get people calling you again. There was one guy actually that we did it, and we said the first and foremost thing you have to do is take down that door with the pentagram on it, right? He called me like weeks later and says it's not gone. I said, "You taking down the door?" "Nope." I said, "Well, then take it down, then call me."
Yeah.
But they don't. Some people do listen, some people don't, though. One he wasn't possessed, but he had now this is interesting. It was an elemental spirit. It was a dwarf, and it just came because I am intuitive, and so it just came to me that it was a dwarf. And I asked it. I had like about 5 or 6 of those REM pods sitting on those noisemaker, and I said, "Are you a dwarf?" And all of a sudden, all of them went off simultaneously, all at once. Now, it wouldn't talk to me on the EVPs, but that's the way it would communicate with me by that. I stayed one night and watched them sleep and filmed them. And while I was filming them, you could see clearly something come to them. And then they were sleeping. They'd wake up, half wake up, and start jostling and thrashing around. Well, after about an hour of that, I had enough film evidence that I needed. I started to pack up, go out to the car. Battery was completely dead. There was no no reason for it to be dead.
Right.
I'm sitting in the car waiting for AAA. All of a sudden, the horn starts going off. Headlights start going on and off. The dashboard's going. The radio's going. Everything. I'm sitting there, and my teammates going, "For God's sakes, get out of the car!" And I'm trying to turn the damn thing off, even though I hadn't turned it on.
Wow.
So it was just his way of saying, "You know what? I want you to come back here." That was the case, I think.
So they can possess a car too?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh
wow.
yeah, they can do. It's amazing what they can do with electronic things. I once had a possessed woman just lean on my car. I was talking to her. She just leaned on my car. I said goodbye to her, took off. My whole electronic panel was going round and around and around all the way home, including the radio.
Oh, wow.
So
crazy.
they commandeer electronic things, definitely, and let you know that I had 1 year on the way to cases. I had 4 double blowouts.
Oh, no. That's
Yeah, and
crazy.
because AAA will only take like 3, whatever the limit was, and finally they say, okay, we got to cut you off. We're not gonna, because they don't give you even donuts anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, at least not. My car's 2017, not since then.
Yeah.
So I had to call for a tow every time.
Oh, you don't have a spare of any kind?
No spare, no nothing.
I'm going to have to look at my wife's car. She's got a new car, but she doesn't have a spare
Yeah,
tire.
check it out.
Hey, you know what? You don't have a spare tire. That's kind
Check
of
it
weird.
out. Yeah, for the Mustang.
They just tow it, huh? They don't even bother changing the tire. They just tow it. And
Yeah, they just tow it.
tow it
I
to
had tow
a
it to the
tire
shop.
place.
Right, exactly. Get them replaced, which aren't cheap, but
How are
I
you?
don't know, that's
How are your kids doing?
Mike with what I'm doing.
No, how are your children doing? How are they? You said you have boys.
They're good. I've got all 3 boys. They're
How,
great.
How old are they?
They're oh god, now you're gonna date me, huh?
I'm going to date you.
One's 41, one's 35, and the other one is 31.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
mine are just a little bit. I've got one that's in his 40s, and the
Yeah.
other 2 are in their 20s. I got 2 batches, but
Oh, yeah.
they're pretty. They're pretty. They don't communicate enough, but other than that, they're
So,
doing
I
okay.
know.
Yeah, I guess.
They're good kids. I gotta
Yeah.
say, I was really blessed. They're really good
Yeah,
kids.
mine are really good too. They don't talk to me enough. I'm going to say this publicly in front of the
There
world.
you go.
In front of the world, and then
I'll
I'm going to.
second that.
I'm
Make
gonna
it with guilt.
I'm
Guilt them into it.
I'm going to send them a copy of this. Okay, now the world knows. As much of a world as I get to, anyway.
Right, right. Do you have grandkids?
What are your kids? Oh, no. That's the thing. Do you have grandkids?
I've got 2. I've got a 17-year-old and a 13-year-old, and one that's trying. So
Yeah, I've got my oldest was married and he's divorced, and I think he's gilded now. He's not dating or anything. I think.
yeah, okay.
And my middle one just got, he's going to get married.
Oh, awesome.
So next year, and then my youngest, he's still finding his way through life. He's going to school and all that. It's just I've never,
Right.
So I've only seen him with a girl a couple times. I just don't. I think he's private. I think it's like my life's too private. I don't think he wants to share what he's doing, and that's fine. But anyway? The reason I ask about that anyway is that, what do they think about this? About exorcisms and things like that?
One is he respects it. He's scared of him, I think. He is. He's just like, my husband's like totally keep the juju on the other side of the street.
Yeah.
Don't bring it home.
Don't bring it home. Yep.
Don't bring it home.
You don't want a hitchhiker coming in there, huh?
Right? One does believe firmly and supports me. They all support me in their own way. And then I have an engineer who just supports me as much as he can, but doesn't believe in it.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and it's the son that's getting married. He's gotten into religion over the last few years. I think he met his future wife at church, and It's one of those multi-denominational churches, you know. It's not specific, I don't think, to any, you know, they play rock and roll and do things like that.
Yeah.
But he doesn't, you know, we've had discussions about the ET thing, and, you know, and he says, well, my people at the church want to come on your show and talk about, I said, really, I would like them to come in. I'd love to get, I've had groups in here of 6 people and things, and I said, I invite them all to come in here and talk about, I don't really have a side because I don't really know anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
I hear you.
I'm not saying, if you want to say that it doesn't exist and Jesus Christ is where it's at and there's can't be anything else, and, you know, that's probably not a good position to take, I don't think. No. It's not very open. You know, because you can't touch Jesus Christ any more than I can touch an alien.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
You know, but you know, I'm spiritual. You know, I'm spiritual. I don't want to say that I don't believe or anything. You know, but I have an open mind. I mean, the aliens think that, and this is according to a couple of different people that have come in contact, who knows if this is real or not, is that we're just this is just a container for the soul. Your meat sack, basically.
Yeah.
When you die, your soul. I mean, for you, the soul goes to heaven, right?
Right.
For these guys, the soul, the ET, some of the ET. I shouldn't speak for every one of them. But the soul goes into another place, and it can get recycled. It can either go to this other place, you might call heaven. But to them, that they specifically say it's not heaven. It's just a place you can do anything you want, if that's what you choose to do. I mean, you can rebuild cars. You know, you can be with a dozen women at a time. You can, and I always say
it's whatever you're.
And I'm just saying that'd be nice. But you know, if you ever? And I always say, do you ever eat candy corn? You know how it's really good in the beginning, and then after a while, it doesn't taste as good after you've had about a pound of it or whatever. That might be like that place. I could just do anything I want. I mean, where's the challenge? You can't die. You can't get hurt. You can't get embarrassed. You can't, you know, and then...
boring after a while.
Yeah. And it'd be like, it's candy corn. I'm just tired of it.
Right, exactly. I do believe reincarnation now.
Yeah.
And I do believe... there's a school of theory out there that says that we all, before we come down, choose what our life is going to be like. You ever heard that one?
I've heard that. I've heard a lot of, oh yes, I've heard a lot of those options for sure.
Yeah, and I always sit there and what the fuck was I thinking?
Yeah. that was what I was kind of thinking when you just said that. Because I choose
exactly.
I choose to toil my entire life only to retire and do this. You know, and which is fun. Now I get to have fun doing what I'm doing, but you know, do you work still? Also, do you have a real job, or do you just?
No, I never did. I always I raised my kids and then went straight to the paranormal. So I've never really had. Well, in college, you know, managed restaurants, that type of thing. Not called the college jobs, but I never really had a career.
You're lucky.
So to speak.
Yeah, you're lucky you didn't have to do with that rat race. You were lucky to be in a position to be. So that choice is okay. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, I was blessed. I mean, I gotta say, I was really blessed to be able to do that. There aren't a lot of people that are able to do that. So
I like my choice. I like my life. You know, you're getting toward the tail end of it, you know, and you're like, well, I don't want to, you know, I don't invite any aliens, or I don't want to invite any, you know, devils into my life, or anything like that. But you know, you're more careful. But back in the day, you had the pentagrams and everything.
I backed off a little bit of it. The last year and a half ago, I had a case in New York, right? And it was an intense case. I had a couple near-miss head-on collisions.
Wow.
And then I had, get this, I ended up in the hospital with twisted intestines and almost died.
Oh, no.
Now, how does that happen?
No, it's extreme unluckiness, number one.
Yeah, or the flute. I started to think, I wonder if this has anything to do with these cases, you know?
Yeah. Well, you can drag them home with you, I imagine, you know?
Yeah. I had one case where the one I was telling you about that was 2 years where they had the demons come back. Where they were in Texas, I was in Florida. I had my head slammed into the sand 3 times. I had 3 burns that came up underneath my skin. And believe it or not, and I kid you not, there were biting flies with red eyes that just wherever I moved followed me. And I would say to some of the people, aren't these bugs biting the heck out of you? And they go, what bugs? So it was like 3 things. And I kind of decided maybe this is the case I need to back off of a little bit.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
The glowing eyes thing is.
The glowing red eyes, that was freaky to me.
Do you ever watch? You probably don't watch these shows. The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch. You've probably heard. You've heard of it.
I've heard of it. I haven't watched it though.
You don't need to watch it. So anyway, one of the things that happens. One of the things that I'm not a big fan of the show, but we won't go on.
Yeah.
Why I'm not, but one of the things is they're at this ranch, and all these weird things happen at the ranch, and there's orbs, and they can see UFOs, and they can they're doing all these experiments trying to figure out what's going on at the ranch. Is there a flying saucer buried there or whatever?
Yeah.
But what happens every once in a while, and this happened to one of the head scientists, Travis Taylor, brought home. They call it the hitchhiker, and it doesn't happen to just him. It happens to other people at the ranch. They come home, and then all of a sudden, there's banging on you're at your trailer, and there's banging on the trailer, and all these strange things start happening. And I said, that's more kind of paranormal. Seems more paranormal than it does extraterrestrial.
Yeah. I agree.
I mean, it's
totally.
But back to the thing where the aliens think that the soul, just to give you some context of what you're doing and what we do. The soul this is a container, and it goes like we talked about, whatever happens. But I call them aliens. Like they're from, like I said, they're not really alien anymore. They're from here.
Yeah.
But they're envious of us because they don't have a soul. That's one of their things. That is it. I'll bet you didn't know that.
I did know that, actually.
Did you know that?
I did not know that. No. I had no idea.
It's a fun fact, Stephanie.
It is a fun fact. I like that.
Do I know that for a fact? No. Just what's a story? But I have to, I listen to everybody's stories. I listen to, like, yours. And a lot of experiencers, we call them. We don't call them abductees anymore. They're experiencers because they've had these things happen to them. But Travis Taylor's had this thing, and the soul is not, and they're not trying to get our soul or any, like nefarious that we know of.
Yeah.
But but it's weird. Our phenomenon's weird because so many people, a couple million people disappear, every year, and most of them are found. They're teenagers or whatever that come home.
Yeah.
But 1% to 1.5% to 1% of them, of a million even, is a lot of people that are never found.
Right. I've heard that.
Where are they going? I mean, is there any of these things that you talk to that what happens to them?
You know what? I don't know. The religious, now some of the religious say that was part of the, the rapture? That the rapture is always going on. It could be alien abductions too.
Well, I don't really know if it's alien abduction. Yeah, or they getting eaten by a certain alien type, or they like children. I've heard the reptilians like children. I mean, when you're communicating with these things, are they different races? Types of aliens? Can you tell? I've heard that
there are different races. I mean, my experience, I haven't been able to differentiate, no. But I've heard that there are different. There's like, what is it? The Greys and the... Now I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah, the Greys are reptilians, and then the insectoids, and then,
Yeah.
I mean, there's the ones that look like us, the tall, There's the tall grays, and then there's the Nordics, the ones that, you know, are hot and hot blonde hair, you know, they're all like, you know, models. They're not the bad ones, allegedly, but the reptilians eat children. Like I said, they say, you know, I don't want to, you know, have any, I don't know if any children watch this, so I don't know that, but that's a story, just like Hansel and Gretel or any other story.
Yeah, I hear you.
You know, but anyway, it's weird that so many people, you know, what do you think about past lives? You know, about.
Oh, I believe in those, definitely.
Have you ever had regression therapy?
I haven't. It's something I've been curious about, though. I'm too much of a control freak to do that. So far.
Too much. You're too much of a what? Did you say control?
Control freak. Yeah. But I've really been interested in that. I know some people that do it, and I've been very interested in having it done. I've
witnessed it. Well, I've witnessed it twice. Same person. And it's hands down. You probably won't be able to say this, but it's the weirdest thing that I've ever seen in my life.
Is it really?
It is the weirdest.
Yeah.
The guy, it was a coworker of mine. I worked at a pool construction company, and I was a manager, and he was also a supervisor in another department. We got to talking almost immediately after I started there, because most of the people know that I do this show.
Right.
And I have to work too. This is for fun.
Oh, I hear
you. But anyway, I don't have to work now, but I did at the time.
Yeah.
And he said, you know, I know I've been abducted, you know. And so we started talking about regression therapy. I go, have you like right in this life? He goes, no, I think I've been abducted, but I think I've been abducted in a previous life, you know. So we go and see this guy that's close by, Norman Plotkin, I think his name is, something like that. And he's in Fair Oaks. He's real close to us in Sacramento. And he's an ex-Marine. It's nothing like you would think. He was an ex-Marine, and he has had, you know, past life regression therapy, which revealed his past lives. I mean, he was actually a point of light in another galaxy that gave recommendations to things. I mean, it was that detailed kind of things that are his past life. Wasn't just, I was a farmer. It was like, this is like, he said, I was abortion one time. He's like, I was an abortion, you know, I was alive just enough to, and then done.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. I was
That's detail.
Yeah, that is weird. So
that is.
My buddy goes in there, and so I asked Norman, I said, hey, can I record this? I won't record the video, but I'd like to record the audio. Yeah. And so I recorded on my phone. It wasn't real good quality, but the guy that was doing the therapy, they put him. You were being hypnotized, basically.
Right.
And it's like, you know, you go up on stage and you talk, you know, you're a chicken or whatever. But in this case, you know, he didn't guide him at all. What I always tell people, they're like, oh, it's fake. I say, he didn't guide this guy one bit. He says, he said he put him under, and he literally just asked, what do you see? And so he said he was guided downstairs, this carpeted stairway with golden railings. Right. And what do you see? Okay, what do you see? And he stopped, and he says, okay, what do you see now? And he didn't tell him anything. He says, I see a large door, a large steel door. And at first he goes, okay, try to open the door. Yeah. And he couldn't open the door. So he had to bring him back out of it. Not all the way, but mostly back out of the trance, as you'd call it. And then put him back into the trance. And then he was able, at that time, he was able to open the door. And he says, okay, after you walk through the door, tell me what you see. And he says, I see an enormous library, thousands upon thousands of books.
Oh my God.
And the therapist said, Norman, Norman says, he quietly says, find the book with your name on it. And he has never talked to this guy ever.
Right.
He didn't set him up. He said, so you find the book with your name on it. So he finds the book. It took him a while to find it. Not a while, but a long time in being in time.
I bet.
Pulls the book off the shelf and says, tell me what you're seeing. And the first story was him on an island in a UFO. I would still call them UFOs. I don't like UAP, so I always call it flying.
Right.
It was like shaped like an egg. But he says the egg was clear. He says you could see he was on a table like you see. He had the small gray extraterrestrials were in there. And he was on a table. They didn't do anything bad, but he was strapped. He was clearly strapped to the table more. He felt like so he wouldn't fall off more than they were going to do something bad to him. So he could see everything. So this egg proceeds into the ocean, a body of water. We're assuming it's the ocean. He says, I'm able to see seaweed and fish. And the egg is completely clear. You can just, as it traveled along through the ocean, you could just see everything. So that kind of petered out. That was kind of his story, and it went on to a couple of other stories of him in the Crusade. He was in the Crusades, and some other, and you see people that you recognize. Like when he was in the Crusades, he saw somebody look like. He said, "Do you see anybody that you recognize?" And he says, "Yes, I do." And okay, who is it you recognize? And he goes, and he gets a big smile on his face. He goes, "It's Doug. I see Doug. He's on a horse." And, so it's the weirdest. So anyway, I record this thing and I'm like, okay, so I come home. I've got sitting in my studio, I've got a couch and, I played it.
Yeah.
And when I'm playing this thing, I'm actually being guided. I'm not guided down the stairs and all that though, but I kind of wake up and I'm on a hill in like the Southwest somewhere.
Right.
And I'm looking, and on the hill are wagon tracks. You might say it was a dream. You know what I mean?
Right.
I guess you might. But the trenches that are in the ground that are based on wagon tracks, like a wagon would go up. And I look down and I've got chaps, and I've got a vest, and I'm obviously wearing a cowboy hat. And I look over, and to the left of me is another guy in the same kind of garb and cowboy boots. And we're just having a conversation. It's a black cowboy. I don't know. And I don't remember what we talked about, but we're walking. For some reason, we had no horses, and we're walking up this hill. And then all of a sudden, I came out of it, Yeah. And the other thing about it, it was kind of strange because I have an intersection. We have this called Sunrise Boulevard, and if we go on one of the streets that goes to Sunrise when I'm going to work, I'm always anxious when I'm coming there because to blend into people drive terribly and to blend into traffic, and they're coming down Sunrise at 50, 60 miles an hour sometimes, and sometimes it's hard to blend it. So I'd always have anxiety. About a quarter of a mile away from getting to this intersection. So the next time I came toward the intersection, I blended into traffic, and I'm traveling down Sunrise, and I'm thinking, I didn't have any anxiety when I did this. That was the weirdest thing. So we had another section. This guy has another section with Norman. And I told him the story. I go, is it possible that just listening to his regression that I got regressed? Can that happen? He goes, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He goes, no charge. And he laughed. And he goes, I told him the other thing about the no anxiety thing. And he goes,
yeah, right.
He goes, yeah, that can be a result of the regression therapy, that you're just able to, he goes, it somehow might have meant your travel up the hill in the old Southwest might have been something that was having you able to release that of you being anxious about this kind of thing. And but it lasted like 6 months and then it came back. So I don't know. Didn't last forever. I hear that you have to go back.
Keep going up.
I go, I'm not paying the money to do this, so it's expensive. It's expensive. Yeah,
it expensive?
It was like it was like $800 for 3 sessions.
Oh, okay, never mind.
It's worth the money. I would have to tell. And there's others. There's a lady called Lori McDonald. That's you know who MUFON is, Mutual UFO Network.
Yeah. She's
involved with our local chapter up here in Roseville, and she does it also. And I hear hers is a lot less expensive. And but I would, since I've seen this guy work, I would say I would definitely recommend him.
Does he do it over the phone, or is it?
I don't know that he does it over the phone, but I know there is people that do it over Zoom. This kind of thing. They set up, you lay down, you turn the camera around, and they literally could do it. It seems to me to be no reason you couldn't do that.
Yeah, what's his name again?
I'll send you the info. I don't have it.
Thank you.
I'll send you the info, but
I appreciate that. That does sound very interesting.
But it's kind of a fascinating thing. I mean, but to know that there's past lives, and you don't really die. I think what I'm trying to get at with this whole thing is you don't really ever, but they say the capturing. They also say though that the capturing of the souls is a nefarious thing. It's not. It's some sort of evil extra. It's not God. Not Jesus Christ. It's actually the result of some extraterrestrial thing that's going on. Again, I don't know. It's just, I always like to convey the stories to people.
No, especially it's really interesting.
This isn't this isn't your primary, goal in what you're doing. What are you trying to accomplish being an exorcist and ordained minister?
I help the people, priest. And then I also help the spirits cross over. I do cross the spirits over.
Why are they trapped here?
There's a lot of reasons. They're angry. They want anger. They have a vendetta to settle, score to settle. Biggest one is they're scared. They're scared of the judgment that might come up to them.
So they don't know that, if I stay here, maybe I won't go to hell because it's just not going anywhere.
That's it. So you kind of have to be a social worker. I find out who or how many are there. And they don't all want to cross over because they got free will just like we do.
Right.
And but you kind of just have to be a therapist and tell them that, you know what, you don't have to be scared. I get them to accept Jesus into their heart, and then I ask an angel to come down and escort them over to cross over. So on occasions I've been known to come back there and do an EVP and ask the angels how many crossed over.
So you would enlist the help of angels to help.
I always do. I believe that Archangel Michael has got my back always.
Do they know before they go across which way they're going to go? Or is it, I don't know which?
No, it's generally they're going to go the good way.
Oh, really? You don't really go to
the... Yeah.
How bad do you have to be to go to hell, Stephanie?
You know what? You just, in my opinion... You are unforgiving. You have a lot of unforgiveness in your heart, and you don't ask for forgiveness for your sins. Basically,
you don't.
No, you don't. You just, hey, I did it. That's it. Get used to it, and I don't care. I'm not going to ask. I'm not sorry for anything. That type of thing.
You're probably a much better person than I was.
No, I don't think so. You don't agree with me.
We'll have to compare notes after the show.
Yeah, okay, yeah, definitely.
How bad can it get? Yeah. Yeah, but I do think about that, as someone who's a spiritual and not, that much into religion. You still think from time, and I challenge anyone that on this earth to not think about, I wonder if I'm going to go to hell when I die.
Oh God, yeah, definitely. I don't know. Personally, I don't like the term religious. I prefer to use spiritual. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't like
That's what I
organized
do.
religion myself.
Yeah.
Had too many bad experiences with it. I like just spiritual. That's just me.
Most of the people that are in the UFO community, I really don't know any that are religious to that extent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they'll say I'm spiritual, and that just gives them an out, which is what I do too.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I don't think your way's wrong.
Yeah.
It's just that, because like my wife's sister's here, and they go to church every Sunday, and
right.
I don't really feel like they're hypocritical or anything, and they believe it.
Yeah.
And it's it's
the heart. It's people's. I was just people by their heart.
Yeah, their dad's dying. Their dad's he's in ill health. I should say he's dying, but we're all dying. We're all dying, but he's in ill health, so it's the end's gonna come at some point here.
Yeah.
And, and she just, he believes that he's gonna go to heaven, and I don't ever say, "Are you sure?"
You gotta believe it. I don't know. I'm a 7-year cancer survivor.
Yeah.
So it sure made me think. It still does make me think.
Yeah, I mean, are you? Yeah, it just. Well, I'm insanely curious. That's the reason I do this, because I'm really curious about people, obviously like yourself, and the phenomena, and religion, and why do you believe? Why is it? How can you say there's no extraterrestrials, but you believe in God? That's what wouldn't ask you that, but I would ask someone if I had to. If they tried to put me on. Yeah, if you try to put me on the spot, that's really going to be my retort. It's like, I can't put my hand on it, neither can you. So
exactly. It'd be vain to think that we're the only ones that God made,
But I never really like to talk badly about religion because, will I go to hell?
No. Yeah.
You're going to go to hell because you're talking bad about religion, and you need to be supportive about your fellow man. Because that spirit is stuck in that meat sack, and when you die, you don't know which way it's going to go.
Yeah, it is. I mean, speaking of, I got to tell you one more thing.
Sure. Oh, yeah. We're going to wind it up soon, so tell me anything else you got.
All right. They're called Bella dolls. I don't know if you've heard of them. I've got a friend in England that found them. And these are like remember the Furbies?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of like Furbies in doll form.
Oh, wow.
So they go, she says hers are evil. Dolls can be a vessel for things. Anything can be a vessel for things. I've had haunted objects I've had to take out of houses right and left, but she says hers go, I'm gonna kill you.
Oh, wow. That's fun.
They're bad.
That's fun.
Mine, I just had two friends. I said, get them talking amongst the three of them and see what they come up with. One of the guys' names was Tim, right? And yeah, I know, really. The dolls go, Tim,
so plain.
If you're a bitch, 3 times. And I thought,
could have been Ezekiel or anything. It's just Tim.
Yeah. I thought, what, that's kind of funny. That's something that just doesn't come out of a child's doll's mouth. No. They're in the garage, by the way. They don't come.
Why don't they get to come in the house, Stephanie? You don't put them in the bedroom?
Oh God, no. My husband said keep the juju on the other side of the street.
Keep those dolls out of here.
Exactly. And some people are just my sister. She's like, I hate dolls anyways. Don't bring them in the house when I come to visit. So, but I thought those were interesting. very interesting.
Awesome. Will you have anything else for me, Stephanie? We're going to go ahead and wrap it up.
I don't, except I really enjoyed talking with you.
Thank you. That was fun. And I appreciate it. Stephanie Brady, Exorcist, Catholic priest? Are you Catholic?
Catholic priest,
Catholic priest. I'll call you if I need you.
Yeah. All right.
Get that plane ticket.
Tell them to go to holywarriors.com.
Holywaters.com?
Hostly Warriors. I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm thinking. HOSCLY Warriors.com.
Awesome. All right, then. Thanks for joining us. All right.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Take care, Stephanie.
All right. You too. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the latest episode of the Alien Probe Podcast. We welcome comments, questions, or guest requests to alienprobepodcast@gmail.com. Visit us on Facebook. Listen to us wherever you get your favorite podcasts, Twitter and Instagram at Alien Probe Pod, YouTube and Rumble at Alien Probe Podcast. We also have a paid version on Patreon if you'd like to show your support. However, the content is free on all other platforms.